It's a little earlier than usual. For some reason, I just couldn't keep sleeping, so I just woke up and here we are. Makes me feel like so much during the day can they're wrestling over there. It feels like so much during the day can color how I react or respond or whatever, and it colors things happen during the day. People say things, I hear things. You get texts, you get phone calls, you get emails. And it colors how I feel about things, myself, and it doesn't ruin the day. It's not a negative thing like that, but it sort of ruins the purity of the day, and it's inevitable. There's no getting away from it. I think it's just part of being awake and going through life, but if you can hear the banging outside all the way down at the ground level of this building, that is a dumpster being banged around on a garbage truck. But no, the also, I'm sorry about that. At some point I'd like to get better sounds, even if they hear that. But this camera picks everything up. What was I saying? Right, the day isn't ruined, but the purity of whatever, and it's inevitable. It just is the way it is because we're here and living life, right? But I guess my point is being here right now, sitting here this early. I haven't done anything. It's too early for my day to be not ruined, but affected or colored by anything yet. In fact, I woke up and I guess the only thing that has happened, well, two things. First thing, the reason I checked my phone. This is one way to instantly ruin the purity of your day. Right? Check your phone first thing when you wake up. Boom, done. You're going to see something that makes you feel one way or another. Luckily, so far, I haven't seen or felt anything negative. Nothing has come to take away my happiness today, and I feel okay right now. I do feel pretty good. But I did check my phone because I was waiting for a response from Paul about some album art that I made for our new single, which is coming out, and I was excited about it, and we'll see if we end up going with it, but I wanted to just hear what his feedback was, so he said he'll think about it. So we're here waiting to hear back about how he feels once he thinks about it. I guess it's pretty neutral, you know. It's a pretty neutral response, and so it didn't really offset my day in any kind of direction emotionally. My emotional life is pretty unaffected by it, but that did happen, so that is something that has happened. And then the other thing is I got a notification that I got paid from work, which made me feel good. It's the thing. It doesn't have to be a negative thing necessarily. I'm not, it's not that it's only bad things that come and ruin the day. Like, that's why I'm saying, like, it's not a negative kind of ruin. It's more just the purity of, like, you wake up, and if you just walk around in a state of absolute ignorance, it's like ignorance is bliss. You don't see anything, you don't hear anything, you don't get affected by anything, you know. Tragic things could happen around you outside in another part of the world, and if you knew about them, you would be absolutely heartbroken. But as long as you don't hear about them, you don't know. You know, that's an unrealistic description of what life could be, but I guess for some people it isn't unrealistic. It is quite realistic, but in general, you know, somebody in your family passes away, someone's going to be calling you to try to let you know about it or something, you know, hopefully. So there's no getting away from those kinds of things. But that being said, I got paid, which made me feel really good. Instantly, the purity and the bliss of my ignorance was altered. And now my day has been colored with this, I got paid today, which is a nice, that's nice. Nothing wrong with that. I'm not complaining. I guess I got paid for 3 weeks, and I don't remember quite how many hours it is. I could check, and I'd like to check. I want to check just because either New York taxes are fucking crazy, which they are. We already know that. Or I didn't get paid enough. I'm sure I got paid enough, like what I earned. I didn't get paid what I earned because New York taxes, but still, my first thought was like, that's it? For 3 weeks, because I think for that first week I was still getting like onboarding, whatever, paperwork and stuff in the job. But man, it feels like it's not that much money, and I'm probably gonna have to it's what I expect, I guess, when I break it down. I want to make a certain amount of money every week. It's annoying, but I get paid bi-weekly at this job, and when I break it down, it's pretty much weekly what I was making at the last coffee shop. Just about. So I guess we'll see how it goes. I'm probably going to have to find some way to make more money, although it's great to be making money, and it's great to be able to pay off credit cards and whatever, and get food and all that. But yeah, it was a good feeling. That's a good feeling to have. Been waiting to waiting to get paid for a little while, which is nice. Coffee is so good. Let me talk about Time of My Life, our new single. Our new single is called Time of My Life, and I believe it's coming out March 7th. That's, I think, the goal. Still waiting to get the master so that we can actually distribute it. We started working with a producer who we've been recording with in Brooklyn. Wonderful collaborator, and it's just been a really great experience all around. We started working with him, I want to say, like almost 2.5 years ago, and this was the very first thing we wrote. I just went to his studio, and I think this was like before Paul even met him. He came to our show. I don't know if Paul even got a chance to talk to him because he was probably packing drums or something, or doing something. But like literally the first day we got into the studio, and we started writing. We were just like, let's just write something, and came up with this he came up with this sick bass line that just like is awesome. First of all, it comes in and it's like, it's a beast, and we just couldn't be more proud of this song, honestly. Like it feels like a landmark kind of shift moment in this band's story, in this whole, like, in the history of Television Skies. This is a moment that is like, there's a switch, there's a change here, just in like the fact that this was recorded professionally in a real studio, a producer who knows what he's doing. Like I give myself credit. I have been the producer on all of our music so far. I give myself credit for that. Like, I'm proud of all 6 records that I have produced, and I've had help. Random songwriting help, random production help. Obviously, Paul has been in the room a lot, like working working together with me to produce things and write things. But like, I'm the one at the computer mixing stuff and mastering stuff and making it sound like what you hear on Spotify and Apple Music. So I give myself that credit. It's not all mine, but I give myself credit where credit is due. But this is like, this whole production on all 5 songs so far that we've done together, this was the first one of this group of songs where like I went into the studio as an artist, just as I am in a band, and I sing and I write, and I am not at the computer. I don't have to click the buttons. I don't have to like mix things or master things or do any of the technical stuff, which is such a like that's not what I got into all this for. My passion for it is songwriting and performing my music and playing music, not sitting at a computer producing it. I've produced everything kind of out of necessity. It was just like, well, I remember like in 2014 probably, 2014, maybe something like that, 2013 maybe even, I torrented some cracked ass version of Logic, and I was like, well, if I want to make music, I gotta know how to produce it. I gotta be able to record it and release it, so that's what I gotta do. So I just got Logic and started to produce my own stuff. I learned how to produce. And a lot of that early music is really, it's not great, by any means at all. It's pretty bad. Like when I listen back, I see how far I've come. I'll put it that way. I see how far I've come. I leave it all out. It's on Bandcamp. And I leave it there because for me, I think it's important just to it's important for me that it's still out. Like I released it. I was so proud of it at the time. I worked so hard to make it happen. It shows my progress, and no one listens to it. It's not like nobody streams it, but it is out. I think it's important to put your work out in the public, and so I just learned to produce because I had to, but I don't want to be doing that, and so this has been such a wonderful experience to just go into the studio as the artist and not be responsible for production. Let the producer who is passionate about it and is good at it and knows what he's doing to the utmost extent necessary, do that job. So and it's been really amazing to collaborate with somebody and write with somebody. Like I said, he came up with this incredible bass line. I can't take it. There's this amazing bass part at the very beginning of this song. It's iconic, it's iconic, and it's not even out yet, but I give him 100% of the credit for coming up with that bass line. I did not do anything to do with that, and it's the coolest thing to be damn, I get to perform this song now, and my band's name is on it, and that's just awesome. But also just learning how to write music with another person and collaborate with somebody new who has immense, invaluable input, which is just amazing. And this was the very first song that we wrote together. It came together like magic, and out of the 5, it wasn't going to necessarily be the first one we put out, but I'm so glad that it is, because it feels like the kind of the symbolic kind of nature of it being that first song that we wrote. It feels right for it to be the first song we release and say this is the new Television Skies. I could not be more excited for what we have coming out, and yeah, I'm just pumped to put time of my life out, which is why I was excited about that album cover. And I guess we'll hear back at some point from Paul about how he feels about that art. I liked it. We'll see. We'll see. Anyway, coffee's good, man. Oh. I washed my hair last night and it feels so fluffy. Fluffy and clean and light, and God, I hate it. No, it feels good. It feels good. It's just when it feels so light and kind of itchy, or I don't know. I'm at a point where like I'm the conversation. There's a conversation between long hair guy and short hair guy happening again. They're talking about potentially, changing shifts, I guess. This long hair guy's kind of tired. He's been working overtime, but I'm rooting for long hair guy. I want long hair guy to win. But I genuinely do feel like I am not part of the conversation at all. And I'm just kind of waiting for the verdict. So we'll see what happens. If any of that makes any sense. But thanks for hanging out with me this morning. I'm gonna get on with my day. See what's out there, see what there is to learn, see what there is to feel, experience. Going to work later. I'm gonna try to read a little bit, do a little movement, wash the dishes, change the cat litter. Exciting stuff. I'll see you guys soon. Cheers.